AITA for refusing to stop living my life for my kids. I got divorced a year ago. It was the best decision I ever made. I basically a maid for the family. It was awful, not to mention was working at the same time. Overall it been a bit rough for the kids, with the youngest being 14 and the oldest being 17. They are doing well overall, and we basically have a 50-50 split with custody. It's wonderful to have days off, so much new free time when they are not home, so I have been able to explore new hobbies. So I joined a models club. You build models and show them off. We met once a month to show off our creations. I love it. My 17-year-old messed up this week. Volunteered for a bake sale, didn't tell me, and forgot to make cupcakes. I was about to leave for my meeting last night and he was panicking about not having it done. He asked me if I could do it and I told him no, since I was leaving. He was also leaving to hang out with his friend. This morning cupcakes were not made since I wasn't doing it. We got in a huge fight about me not helping him out. I wasn't putting my life on hold for a simple mistake he did. He left for his father's, and my ex also got in an argument with me about it and called me a jerk. Thank you for all the feedback. I am trying to teach him what the lesson I missed when married. Want more info on that? It is in a comment. If anyone has any ideas, I'm open for advice. I'm running out of time before college and he is with the man he learned this behavior half the time. The other two are willing to learn, but he won't give an inch. NTA. It's not your fault he volunteered himself to make the cupcakes. Forgot to inform you of this. Neglected to make the cupcakes. And then chose to hang out with his friend when he could have canceled and made the cupcakes. Your son needs to learn how to prioritize his responsibilities over his wants. He could have canceled his plans with friend. And learn that neglecting his responsibilities has consequences. WTF? He chose to hang out with his friend when he had plenty of time to make muffins. And somehow it's your fault they didn't get made? How can your ex also think it's your fault? That doesn't make any sense. NTA. NTA. At 17 he is more than capable of making his own cupcakes. I'd circle back and go over what you will and won't be doing going forward. Reinforce that when he makes commitments, he has to keep them, not you. NTA. He's 17, not 6. He should have asked before volunteering you. He should have told you when he volunteered you. He should have given you the date for your diary. He then should have helped you bake them. He could quite easily have gone to the store before school to cover his ass. Instead, he threw a toddler tantrum and ran to daddy's. Your ex should mind his business, as he no longer has any say in how you run your household. Lack of prior planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. NTA. NTA. Even if you hadn't had any plans last night and just didn't feel like making his 17-year-old almost adult-ass a batch of cupcakes tbh. He signed up for the bake sale and is old enough to take responsibility for that. Apparently he wasn't even going to help if you were home. Just planned to tell you, "Oh, I need a batch of cupcakes," while breezing out the door. Lol. NTA. He's 17. Unless he needed help getting to the store to get ingredients, he could have done everything on his own. NTA. The thing that damns your 17-year-old is that he chose to hang out with his friend and just expected to dump it onto you. Asking you for help is one thing, but expecting you to just do it after his poor planning is something else entirely. He needs to learn to prioritize his own responsibilities, or at least learn how to ask for help. And what help means. NTA. Okay. If he had something serious like a medical appointment that he couldn't change, I would say help him out. He could have taken 3,045 minutes to do it and met his friend later, or done it when he got home. Cupcakes do not take hours to make or have a complex recipe you need a lot of prep for. You're his mom, not his servant for when he doesn't feel like doing something that he promised to do. He had time to do it. He just couldn't be bothered to do it. And at 17 years old, he should understand that mommy will not always be there to cover for him when he makes promises and fails to meet them. He has to take responsibility for himself. NTA. If it was so important, he should have stayed home and made the cupcakes that he volunteered to make. Kids gotta learn to be responsible at some point. If he's got his own schedule going, he's got to learn to handle it. His father isn't doing any better by babying him. Does he always take your son's side no matter the argument? If so, it's probably the divorce and him just wanting to seem like the hero out of spite for you. NTA. Teach the kid to learn to juggle his own stuff. NTA. Your son was irresponsible. You weren't. He is awfully entitled, too. But beyond that, I think you're carrying a bit of trauma from your marriage and projecting it on your relationship with your kids. It was as simple as saying, lack of planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine. No need to go all dramatic about how, I'm not putting my life on hold for you. That was completely unnecessary. Your ex is more than capable of buying cupcakes on your son's dime. Go tell your ex to pound sand. Your son is almost an adult. He is old enough to bake himself. Time for Sonny to grow up. NTA. NTA. Making cupcakes is not hard. Your son could have easily spent an hour making them, then gone out with his friend. I guess there is some chance you and your ex completely failed at teaching your son to cook at all. But I am assuming a 17-year-old can make some cupcakes. NTA. You were their maid. They didn't bother respecting you because the entire family was used to you being their doormat. Instead of going to his friends, he should have made the cupcakes he volunteered for. Full stop. He's 17. He can bake some cupcakes or not volunteer. OBV dad is an enabler for this learned behavior. Good on you for standing your ground. Your oldest do need to learn responsibility and time management. So, you leaving him to his own devices like that is acceptable. I usually would say that you are the for this exact phrasing. But I'm going to say NTA because of the simple fact that your son knew that he needed to have cupcakes ready. If he needed help, he should have said, Mom, or Dad, sorry, I have a thing where I need cupcakes ready by this date. Do you think you could help me? If he said that, or similar, I'd say you'd be the Since he didn't, he needs to take responsibility. NTA. You're 17Y. Oh, was being a 17Y. Oh, he committed to something he forgot about. He's totally old enough to watch a YouTube video on how to make cupcakes. Google cupcake recipes or just bought some pre-made. He could have asked the friend he went to hang out with to help him. Instead, he chose to be childish, petty and blame you for what he was supposed to do. NTA in any capacity. NTA. If I had been in that situation, my mom would have made me cancel my plans and make them myself. Granted, I started learning to bake when I was like 8, so it wouldn't have been a big deal for me. Heck, he could have even still gone to his friends and they could have just hit up the grocery store together. NTA. Your oldest is 17. Need to learn consequences. NTA. He was going to hang out with friends, should have been getting it done.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.